I think, and I genuinely mean this with every fiber of my being, the gacha genre right now is at the worst it has ever been. It is also simultaneously the largest it has ever been. Now, if this is your first time here, consider subscribing to the channel, hitting the little bell notification, that way you remain up to date with every single thing that I post, and I post daily. Do not miss out. This is the craziest state that I have ever seen it. We have communities from every single gacha game all at each other's throats. I've heard people claiming that Wuthering Waves is dead, Genshin Impact is dead, Zenless Zone Zero is dead, all because they've seen significant declines over the course of the last few months. We saw the rise of Love and Deep Space and AFK Journey. I've heard people claiming from all different communities that AFK Journey is just a trash auto game for no skill losers. And at the same time, I've heard very recently, actually, at least as of the last 24 hours, that Love and Deep Space is for fat women and gay guys who can't get laid. It is disgusting, abhorrent behavior, language, and it is just so unusual, so bizarre to me how toxic players are, how they're reacting to one another instead of just enjoying the current surplus of fun, enjoyable games. AFK Journey is fun for a lot of players. Love and Deep Space is fun for a lot of players. So is Zenless, Wuthering Waves, Genshin, Honkai Star Rail, Arknights, Nikke, Path to Nowhere. All of these games are making millions of dollars. Actual millions. And everyone here is infighting, trying to justify how their game is better, purely because estimated mobile revenue is made public by Sensor Town. Yeah, you can get a gauge of how well a game is doing based off of Sensor Tower's estimates, but just because your game is making more money, just because Honkai Star Rail makes more money than Genshin Impact, doesn't make Honkai Star Rail inherently a better game. Just because AFK Journey made 70 something million this month, and Love and Deep Space made, what, like 50 or 60 something million this month and made more money than all of Hoyo's games, does not make them inherently better games than any of Hoyo's games. Earlier today, just a few hours ago actually, I posted a video on August 2024's gacha revenue. I went over how Zenless saw like a 60 or 70 million dollar decline, how Wuthering Waves saw a 16 million dollar decline, how Genshin and Star Rail were still only at like 30 or 40 something million, how AFK Journey and Love and Deep Space were absolutely dominating the charts, how Arknights made over $20 million, and the entire comment section is just, it is so jaded, so filled with hate and anger. Social media. When I went on over to Twitter, I saw the same things. I saw people, and I'm not claiming that NCG here is negative or an angry person himself. I'm just using him here as reference because he got 42 replies of lots of very angry people. He did note here that he was just making a joke with this and being sarcastic, but so many people were lashing out in response in just pure hate and anger. A friend of mine, Oofy, made a tweet concerning Love and Deep Space, AFK Journey, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless, Wuthering Waves, how they had filler patches, slow patches with mid-character banners, how everyone is saving for Shorekeeper, Camellia, Jane Doe, Fei Xiao, all these different characters. She explained why she was of the opinion that revenue was down for various different games that we all love and enjoy, but everyone is just so angry. Everyone just, for whatever reason, wants to lash out and claim above everyone else, shout at the top of the tallest mountain, their game is better and any other game is inferior. And this has never been made more apparent than this month, than today specifically. Before we go any further, let me take a moment here to thank my incredible patrons over on Patreon and my YouTube channel members who allow for me to continue to do dedicated videos like this every single day. You guys are phenomenal and I can't thank you all enough for the support. Now let's keep talking. And that all stems from this one single page. AFK Journey, 71.8 million. Love and Deep Space, 48 million. Honkai Star Rail 39, Fake Grand Order 38, Genshin Impact 38, Zenless 31, Wuthering Waves 13. People are insanely upset. I genuinely, I do not think this upset, this degree of anger is warranted, because these games are still, even at their worst, even during boring filler patches, even when there is no one good to pull for, like in Zenless, like in Wuthering Waves, the characters people are saving up for in Genshin and Honkai Star Rail, even when these games have no one to pull for, even when they have nothing to do, they are making tens of millions of dollars. Why are we upset? Why are we angry? That AFK Journey made 71 million. That Love and Deep Space made almost 50 million. This is fantastic. This is just proof that you don't need to be a Hoyo game or a game like one of Hoyo's games to be successful. You can be completely different, your own entire being, and have people love your game. I've heard a lot of people claiming that after seeing Zenless drop by $68 million, the game is dead. Case in point, ZZZ dead. ZZZ is dying. I've seen people saying that just because Wuthering Waves saw a $16 million decline, that WuWa is dead. WuWa is dead. If $13 million on mobile in a dead filler patch is dead to you, I genuinely hate to see what the remainder of the top 100 are considered. The reason Genshin made as little as it did, even though Not Long just dropped, even though the majority of a banner character's revenue is made in the first several days of release, is because people are saving up for a future character, not because Not Long did incredibly poorly. The same applies to Honkai Star Rail. People are saving up for a future character that they know is coming. The same is going on with Zenless Zone Zero. People are saving up for Jane Doe. I expect the revenue for Zenless to increase from 30 million probably to upwards of 40 million next month. I know that people are anticipating Shorekeeper when she releases in the next patch for Wuthering Waves, and then Camellia after that. There are periods where people do not want to spend money because they are saving up for another character. People evidently didn't like the characters that were available in Zenless, in Genshin, in Star Rail, and in Wuthering Waves the last month. And evidently, this is evidence to the contrary with regards to AFK Journey and Love and Deep Space. People, on the other hand, really did love the characters and really did want to spend money on them. But even with all of this in mind, even with all of this being said and done, Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, and Zenless Zone Zero all made, let's just say here, an average of $30 million each, okay? And hear me out first. They all made 30 million plus each on mobile. Now, every single one of these games is cross-platform compatible on PC and on console. Each game makes roughly a similar amount on PC and on console as they do on mobile. All three games are highly optimized for every major platform, which means if they make it roughly a similar amount on all three, Zenless likely made upwards of $90 million. Genshin Impact did the same, and by the 38 million, it's probably went on to make over 110 million. Honkai Star Rail did the exact same as well. None of these games across all three platforms combined made 30 million. No, they all made triple that. Wuthering Waves is another example of this. People are seeing 13 million when the reality is we're looking at the very least double that revenue for PC. The difference here is that where Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, and Zenless are all highly optimized for PC, for mobile, and for console, Wuthering Waves isn't, which means that Wuthering Waves also probably earns a larger margin from PC. I've held 4 different polls in the last 2 months asking tens of thousands of different people what platforms they play on, and the breakdown for every single one is between 60 to 70% on PC. I have polled a grand total of almost 75,000 people thus far. With this in mind, 13 million would then theoretically become roughly 39 million if you factor in PC. So Wuthering Waves could be looking at anywhere from $27 million to $40 million, factoring in mobile and PC. Zenless is likely looking at anywhere from 90 million to 110 million. Genshin Impact is looking at anywhere from 110 to 120, and Honkai Star Rail is looking at pretty much the same. Are these games in trouble? Should we be concerned? No, definitely not. They are all making absolutely crazy amounts of money, and I foresee all of them spiking right back up whenever new, better, more anticipated characters become available. Yes, it is concerning that Wuthering Waves dropped by 16 million. Yes, it's concerning that Zenless dropped by 68 million. But as previous months have shown us, you can drop by 50 million and still see steep rises just because you have a slow month. Just because you have a few slow months, a few filler patches. These numbers are not an indicator of your death. None of these games are dying. None of these games are doing poorly. On the contrary, they're all doing exceptionally well. And I genuinely look forward to seeing how the remainder of them do over the course of the next few months. And I genuinely wish, instead of all of this hate being thrown at all of these different games, they just took a moment here, sat down, and realized all of these games are good quality, all of these games are very fun, and there are millions of people all around the world that love them and that enjoy them. And nobody gives a fuck if you don't. Hey you, where do you think you're going? Don't you close out of this tab. I didn't give you permission to do that. Sit your ass back down. Click one of the 2 videos that are gonna be on screen in just a moment and keep watching my content. Keep enjoying my content.